Good morning, good afternoon, good evening internet, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Economical Rides. Good morning, good afternoon, stop, no time for that. The Classic 350 is nearly run in. Time to hit the dirt. So, I got up really super early this morning to get out and film this video because it's so hot at the moment that any time after 11 o'clock in the morning, and you're kind of already into the mid 30s temperature wise, and that's just not pleasant. So I got up at 6 a.m. this morning to get out in time to do this now, which, if you know me, you'll realise that getting up at 6 a.m. really isn't compatible with my rock and roll lifestyle, but it needed to be done. So today we are on the Classic 350. We are back on the trails, and I thought it was about time, now that the Classic 350 is practically running, that we give it a little workout on the trails. Now, for those trail experts amongst you, we won't be going fast today for a couple of reasons. Firstly, I don't really want to abuse the bike too much, and secondly, it's very dry and very dusty at this time of year, so if I go too fast, the bike is going to get absolutely filthy. I mean, it's going to get dirty anyway, but hopefully it won't be too bad if I can keep the speed down today. And also, in terms of the comparison with the Meteor, it was the same with the Meteor. I wasn't in any rush, I was just chugging about. So today we're going to do the shorter of the two trails because I need to make sure I get home before it gets too hot. So that will be the trail that we did a couple of weeks ago with the Meteor. So it's still quite fresh in my mind how the Meteor felt on that trail. So it should be, I should be able to make a decent comparison between the two bikes and their off-road capabilities. So we'll just enjoy this trail, enjoy the scenery once again, and if I have any observations to make whilst we're riding, I will let you know. And at the end I will do a brief summary of my feelings about how the two bikes coped on this trail. A little update for you, after a cooling off period in the garage, the Speedo's decided to work normally again, so at the moment it's working fine, but it seems to be the case that that's only temporary. Eventually it will be playing up again, so it's still scheduled to be replaced when the bike gets its 6-month service. So we're currently in second gear, so I'm just testing the second gear chuggability of the Classic today. As we know by now, the Classic is slightly higher geared because it has a 1-inch larger rear wheel than the Meteor 350. So that slightly higher gearing might mean that it struggles a little bit more to chug along in second without any clutch usage, but so far so good. I mean, what I'm already noticing is that the ride is definitely better. It's dealing really well with the bumps compared to the Meteor. Let's have another little look at this view. It looks pretty good in this morning light, doesn't it? You can see for miles. Well, I can. The GoPro probably can't because it makes everything look so far away, but yeah, lovely view. So let's get going. Yeah, I already find myself going a little bit quicker than I do on the Meteor, just because the ride's a lot smoother. It's not quite as bumpy as it would be on the Meteor. On the Meteor I go slowly just to protect my back, really, but the Classic definitely smooths out a lot of the bumps pretty well. So in terms of suspension, I can already say I'd rather take the Classic off-road. And so far the second gear chug is working well. I mean, the bike's done nearly 2,000 kilometers. I'm up at 1800 I think, but it is pulling second gear really nicely. So that's another positive surprise. I thought it might struggle a little bit compared to the Meteor with its 6,000 kilometers, but no. Oh yeah, this is quite pleasant riding at the moment. It's probably about 25 degrees at the moment. A little bit of wind. Let's see, that was second gear. I almost thought we'd need first there, but we didn't. Just a little bit of throttle. I was covering the clutch, ready to grab a gear, but no, it kept going. Yeah, this is going to be fine. I think the second gear chug is definitely on the cards, even with the Classic. You're probably going a minute amount faster when doing so compared to the Meteor, but nothing too sketchy. Oh, I really hate getting up early. I can't tell you how much I hate getting up early, but when it's hot like it is at the moment, it's really the only way to enjoy your bike. This is a lovely temperature at the moment. I might have to tone down my rock and roll lifestyle a wee bit and get out on the bike more. Bad. I'd also love to come up here kind of really early morning when the sun's coming up. I bet it looks amazing. Maybe we'll do that sometime. Oh look, straight ahead, Cala Alto. We've got really good visibility today. You can see for miles. You go up there, the observatory once again. Fantastic. Well, I think as many of us suspected, the Classic 350 is going to be better off-road than the Meteor 350. It doesn't seem to have any negatives, and the suspension's definitely a positive. It's much plusher to ride on bumpy trails like this. So, yeah. I think so. I suppose we better do the standing on the pegs test. Yeah, that's absolutely no problem whatsoever. Again, that's another plus for the Classic. It's a little bit harder to do on the Meteor. I can just about do it, but it's not ideal. Oh yes, standing on the pegs, not bad at all. Probably the bars are a bit lower than you'd like them ideally. You probably wouldn't want to do it for too long. But yeah, it feels very stable when you ride standing up. So that's another win for the Classic. Goodness me. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought a cruiser wasn't great off-road? I suppose a roadster should be better than a cruiser off-road, just about. Right, we'll go this way to avoid the biggest rut. There we go. Yeah, so the speeder's working again. So everything's dandy. I've got a new camera mount for my rear facing camera. Those of you that have been with me for a long time, you'll know that in the early days I did work quite a bit with the rear facing camera, and then I stopped, and that was because one time I went to move the camera mount, and as soon as I unloosened, oh, this is the bumpy section, as soon as I undid the bolts that secure it, the plastic just went ping, and that was it. It was broken. So it was happy to be in the position it was in, and as soon as I tried to move it, it just exploded. So I haven't had a camera mount for the handlebars since then. But now I've got one here, which is quite nice because it's got the old ball joint, so I can get it at any kind of weird angle. Yeah, and I've got one of my original cheapo cameras on there, so if I do cut to the rear facing camera, you will notice a loss in quality, but this is just a test really. Obviously at some point I'd like to get another decent camera for that position, but I'm just using my old cheap ones at the moment because I've only got the one GoPro, which is on my chest as we speak. So yeah, got a new camera mount, so we might be able to do a bit more pram cam in future videos. Oh, in case you don't know, Saddlebags explained it to me. Saddlebag73, fellow YouTuber, check out his channel as always. The pram cam, yeah, so called because it looks like the view a baby would get of its mum pushing the pram down the road. So this has now commonly become known as the pram cam. So, any other news to tell you about? Yeah, I got things coming up, so I might tell you about them nearer the time, but no, not really for now. I'm just happy that the Speedo's working for a while. That's a positive. And we are definitely discovering that the Classic 350 is nicer off-road than the Meteor 350. So it's been a worthwhile exercise, and it's by quite a margin it's better, and that really is mainly down to the suspension, because we all know that the Meteor rear suspension is a bit extremely budget. I mean, even on the road it's not super pleasant, and as soon as you go off-road it is pretty brutal. So yeah, this feels like a Rolls Royce compared to coming down here on the Meteor. And the second gear chug is there, so really enjoying it. I won't enjoy having to wash the bike though, that is going to be quite depressing, but hopefully with enough water I can get most of the dust off. So that's the plan for the weekend, because I've got Buddy's already dirty. He's still got greasy paw prints from the big service that they did on him. So he was down to get washed big rock at the weekend anyway, and then I was going to reposition that pannier, and then I thought, well, if I go out now on the Classic, then the Classic will be dirty at the weekend as well, and then I can spend the weekend washing both bikes. You know, while I've got the hose out and everything, I might as well just do both bikes. So I think that's the plan at the weekend. I should be restoring both bikes to pristine condition, and then I shall not be going off-road with either of them for a little while. So this just confirms my opinion, and now feeling how good the Classic feels on this type of trail, just confirms my opinion that one of these as a factory 50 style homemade scrambler thing. So if you've got one of these with knobblies on it, you know, like a headlight guard and a high level exhaust, and stripped off some of the parts like mud guards and things, I mean, not only would it be a cracking looking bike, but it would be a great toy for trails like this. I mean, it would just be amazing. This engine, this bike, just as a factory scrambler, but really kind of stripped back, you know, not like an urban scrambler, not like a hipster mobile, but a proper 50 style scrambler. I think that would be a fantastic toy for messing about in the woods and on trails. So come on, Royal Enfield, take this platform and go real old school homemade scrambler with it. I think I'd probably have to buy one. Probably have to sell a kidney and buy one, because then I wouldn't want a Himalayan or a Scram or anything like that. One of these as a 50 style scrambler would be awesome fun. Hello, Colour Alto. We keep bumping into you. So this is where we had the flood last time I came down here. Looks all dry today. Cracking. Love it. Just love it. Yeah, this bike's too pretty and too shiny to do this with, really. But yeah, like a stripped back scrambler with a chrome tank and everything else black, knobblies on it. Awesome. That's what we need. Make it happen, Royal Enfield. Make it happen. Mind you, I would imagine it'd be a pretty niche market. I'd probably be the only person interested in buying one. So it's probably not going to make a lot of commercial sense to do it. These days a scrambler has to be urban and hipster. It's not supposed to look like something you knocked up in your shed at the bottom of the garden, unfortunately. Which is a look I really enjoy. Check out the view again. Yeah, definitely looks different in this light, and we do have a very clear day for it. Awesome. Hello, Pram Camp. So, let's continue. Oh, Saddlebags 73, another shout out. I I'm sure some of you remember that I said that I have the problem that my gearbox sometimes on this bike, when I shift from first to second goes in with a clunk, and as soon as I let the clutch out, so as soon as the gearbox comes under load, it pings back out into neutral. Now Saddlebags pointed out that he had exactly the same issue with his Classic 500 gearbox when it was new, and he said try preloading the lever before you pull the clutch in when you change up to second. That worked for me, so I did that, and absolutely, since I've been preloading the lever on the shift to second, the gear's gone in and it's stayed in, and Saddlebags reckons that after a while that's no longer necessary, and I think that's probably true. I think it's just when the gearbox is tight and the tolerances are tight, sometimes it manages to push second gear back out, and I think once everything's bedded in a bit better, second gear tends to stay put. So yep, that's a good tip if you're having the similar issue. Try preloading the lever before you shift into second, then it seems to stay in second and not bounce back out. Oh, a nice bit of breeze, that's nice and cooling. Oh, there's nothing wrong with this. This is most pleasant. But I do hate getting up early, that's the trouble. But yeah, motorcycling is much more enjoyable, I will admit that. Oh, here we are, here's the mysterious pole whose function is unknown. Hello, mysterious pole. Good morning to you. Oh, river crossing. Well, no, maybe not. Just a little bit of river. We might not actually have to cross it. I don't think we will. We could just stay to the right, I believe. Don't fall into that rut. Oh, look at that. Awesome. Getting good at this off-roading. But yeah, no doubt if you had less mechanical sympathy, you could blat down here at a fair old lick on this bike. It seems to take the bumps really well. But I won't be doing it, and as I say, I don't want the dust absolutely everywhere. If the dust limits itself to the places I can get at and get it off, that's preferable to having a bike caked from head to toe and the stuff. But no reason why you couldn't come down here at a fair old lick if you had a mind to. Yeah, second gear chug is absolutely on a par with the Meteor. There's no difference really. I'm not having to cover the clutch, just giving it a little bit of throttle from time to time to keep it happy, and chugs along quite merrily. So we're coming to the end of the trail now, I believe. See, I didn't even go there. If I'd have gone over that at that speed on the Meteor, I would definitely have gone like that bit there. So that just indicates how much better the ride is on the Classic. And there we go. The trail doth endeth. Let's park over here in a bit of the old shade. Speedo still working, awesome. Let's have a look and inspect the damage. How dirty did the bike get? Yeah, I'd say that was dirty. That rear wheel's very dusty, but other than that, it's not too bad. It's really just the rear wheel and the exhaust. Oh, I can live with that. Awesome. Oh, and a mudguard and rear light. So there we go. That was the Classic's little adventure on the trails. Mission accomplished. All went swimmingly. I hope you enjoyed this little video. There'll be further Classic and Meteor updates in future videos coming soon. So yeah, I'll sign off for now. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this little video, give me a like. Oh, sorry, the conclusion. I owe you the conclusion, don't I? Well, yeah, obviously the conclusion is I'd much rather prefer to go off-road with this than the Meteor, mainly because the suspension deals with the bumpy surface much better. It's a nicer ride, and also it's easier to stand on the pegs should you have a desire to do so. I can do it with the Meteor, but it getting up onto the pegs does put quite a load through your knees. So as I get older, it's probably not something I'd be keen on doing. So this copes better with the bumps. It's nice and easy to stand on the pegs if things get a bit rough. So no question. Also, I thought maybe the higher gearing was going to make it a bit more difficult to chug along in second, but no problem at all. I didn't have to feather the clutch at all. So yeah, no downsides. This, if I had to choose, I would take this, but obviously look at it. I'm not going to do that to it very often. This was really a one-off, and hopefully I can get it clean again. And yeah, the trails will be Buddy's job in the future, I think. So anyway, thanks for watching. Like I say, if you enjoyed the video, please give me a like. It only takes a second of your time and it helps my video to get promoted. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. I try to bring out 1 or 2 videos per week, so it's definitely worth a sub. Again, subscriptions don't cost anything, in case you were wondering. You just need to set up a YouTube account, and then you can subscribe to as many channels as you like for absolutely free, which is awesome. Okay, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in a future video. Bye bye. What was that, Ruby? What was that? I've got to give the YouTube people what they want. They want to see you eating sausages. Really? Well, to be honest, on the last video, a couple of people did mention that you didn't put in an appearance, and you did look after the house for Daddy, so you're going to sit? Sausages. Sausages. Oh, give the YouTube people what they want. All gone. Like and subscribe.